Welcome in to Kick in the Rear podcast, episode 16. My name is Joe Yarshin. Today we're going to be reviewing $100 million Offers by Alex Hormozi. Alex Hormozi, of course, is an American entrepreneur, investor, philanthropist. By the age of 30, him and his wife, Layla, their portfolio of companies crossed $100 million in valuation. They now spend their time helping entrepreneurs scale their businesses profitably without outside capital via acquisition.com. I originally heard of Alex Hormozi on the Bigger Pockets podcast. They were discussing a segment on real estate investing, and he was discussing some business topics, and I was so intrigued by his analysis and business acumen. I looked him up and I found his podcast, which is called The Game. So if you're looking for a business podcast, highly recommend Alex Hormozi's. He doesn't sell anything. He doesn't really have any commercials or anything. So you just get pure content from him. And he's just puts on a master class every day, or I should say every episode. But he's really pumping out a lot of content creation on this space. So without further ado, let's get into it. In section 1 of the book, Alex Hormozi discusses his intro story. Very compelling. Started from scratch like a lot of business entrepreneurs. Right away, this book is a business book. It's not necessarily a real estate investing book, but I think a lot of the lessons in this apply directly to real estate investing. So he discusses what this book is about. And in the beginning here on page 15, and right away he discusses what an offer is. He discusses the two main problems that most entrepreneurs face and how this book solves that issue. And problem number 1 is entrepreneurs don't have enough clients, or they don't, number 2, have enough cash, excess profit at the end of the month. So he discusses what's in it for you if you read this book, what's in it for him. Really what's in it for him is connecting with entrepreneurs to build their net worth through acquisition.com. So he has listed at the end of this first introduction chapter on page 21, the link for acquisition.com. On that link, he states you can have access to free courses and books to grow your business. So love that. He discusses the outline and structure of the rest of this book. And the first section it's labeled section 2 though. It's called pricing. So how to charge lots of money for stuff. So within this first piece here, he says a quote from Steve Jobs, simply 2 words here: think different. So what does it take to grow? 3 simple things: get more customers, increase their average purchase value, and get them to buy more times. That's it. He discusses several business terms. The first being gross profit, which is the revenue minus the direct cost of servicing an additional customer. Lifetime value, the gross profit accrued over the entire lifetime of a customer. And he discusses what the breakdown is. And then he also gives LTGP, lifetime gross profit. So some people call it different things, but that's what he calls it. Value-driven versus price-driven purchases. He goes into commoditized, differentiated, and how Grand Slam offers solve the problem. So what does a Grand Slam offer do? He says, well, first he defines it, and then he'll talk about marketing terms here: increased response rates, clicks, increased conversion, sales, premium prices, charging a lot of money. Then he goes into the differentiated, incomparable, and value-driven Grand Slam offers. At the end of each piece, he does a summary point, and then he includes a free gift bonus tutorial, which is a link to his website. And basically, you can watch the videos with the free course. I think it's really interactive. Again, some other terms he breaks down as well in these videos. So a lot of practical examples here. Again, a lot of interesting quotes Matthew 13:23 here. He says, the seed that fell on good soil represents those who truly hear and understands God's word and produce a harvest of 30, 60, or even 100 times as much as had been planted. So Hormozi does state that he doesn't necessarily believe in God or an entity, but he still quotes biblical phrases here, which I thought was interesting. And then a lot of pro tips as well in this book. So the point of good writing is for the reader to understand. The point of good persuasion is for the prospect to feel understood. So he goes into what pain is, purchasing power, targets, growing the business, 3 levers of success, different examples of those. He talks about the riches are in the niches or niches. So I like that quote there. Niching down into your specialty, of course, is valuable in any business, but if you can zero in on a target audience, very important. Examples of this, he gives products and prices. If you were to niche down for like a time management program, maybe it's $19. Time management for sales professionals, you could charge maybe $99. Then he says time management for outbound business-to-business sales, you could charge $499. And then niching down even further, he says time management for outbound business-to-business power tools and gardening sales reps, you can charge $19.97. So I know on his podcast, he actually discusses charging more for your product to your clients actually keeps them more engaged. And paraphrasing what he says is it keeps them more engaged because they have skin in the game. They have more commitment. If they have this skin in the game and commitment, they're more likely to be successful because they're gonna really try hard with the money they put into the deal, whether it's a purchase or a commodity or a product that delivers service. They're more likely to succeed if they buy into the program. So again, he has these bonus tutorials, winning markets on acquisition.com. To quote Dan Kennedy here, he says, charge as high a price as you can say out loud without cracking a smile. Love that one. Price to value discrepancy. He discusses why you should charge so much it hurts. So most business owners are not competing on price or value. In fact, they're not actually competing on anything at all. He says the pricing process typically goes in a few different steps. So he goes into those steps. And then this book is just very comprehensive from a business sales perspective and just, again, a masterclass. I can't really go into it in super detail just because it's so nitty gritty in each chapter here, but it's takes you about 4 hours or less to get through all of it. So the summary points at the end of page 53. First and foremost, he says, charge a premium. It allows you to do things no one else can do to make your client successful. We're able to charge a premium because we provided more value than anyone else in the industry. In a real way, we're charging on a fraction of what our clients made using our system. So really awesome stuff there. Section 3, value, create your offer, how to make offers so good people feel stupid saying no. Orson Scott Card quote here, he says, we question all of our beliefs except for the ones we really believe in, and those we never think to question. I've heard him talk about this quote on his podcast as well. So really Alex says you should question everything, everything you know, and everything's negotiable. He discusses what the value equation is, and then which is summarized as this. So dream outcomes times perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time delay times efforts and sacrifice equals value. So the value equation bonus tutorial, again, he gives a link to that. Really cool stuff in here. Perception is reality, he states. Pro tip, logical versus psychological solutions. And dream outcomes, how the goal equals an increase. frame benefits in terms of status gained from the viewpoint of others, perceived likelihood of achievement, time delay. Always try and incorporate short-term immediate wins for a client. Be creative. They don't just need to know they're on the right path and that they made the right decision, trusting you in your business. So then he has a quote on page 69. He who said money can't buy happiness hasn't given enough away. Alex talks about giving away your secret sauce and how you should feel worried at how much free information you're giving away. So if you're not worried about how many secrets you're giving away, you're not being generous enough. Thought that was really cool. So then he goes into the value offers, the thought process. Page 71, quote is, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Thomas Palmer from the Teacher's Manual. He discusses convergent and divergent thinking. He takes you through this exercise called the brick exercise. So you have to set a timer on your phone for 2 minutes. Think of a brick and how many different uses you can think for using a brick, write it down, and then he'll give you his answer at the end. And so his list is like way longer than like the list I put together, because basically he shows the convergent and divergent thinking. So he will take you through an exercise and give you minimal information on purpose. And he doesn't say what the brick's made of. You know, maybe you're thinking of a clay brick or a wood brick or, you know, a Lego brick. So he's like, there's so many different things that can come out of just thinking differently than just making assumptions. So I thought that was a really good exercise. And then creating Grand Slam offers, part 1, problem solutions, page 75. It's really tough, if I'm being honest, to review this book, because you kind of have to go along with each chapter and its direct application to business. But as a high level overview, it really was helpful for me to understand, you know, the different sales and marketing techniques he uses and how they kind of correlate and go together. And then stacking these concepts one-on-one on each chapter, just getting more and more complicated. And it's just like, it's a master class again. But overall, I would say this book was important if you are looking to grow your business, grow your sales, and have a unique perspective on business that maybe a lot of people don't get to have experience to, or exposure to, I should say. So, that wraps up today's episode of the Kick in the Rear podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, please like and subscribe and share this podcast with anyone who's interested in real estate investing, business, or entrepreneurship. Again, Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Million Offers. This was volume 1. I believe he said it's going to be in 4 different volumes. So I look forward to each volume that will come out next. And I'm probably going to buy them, because he did say it's like 99 cents on the Kindle books. So if you want a hard copy, it's a little more expensive on Amazon, but just overall really great information packed into this tiny little book. So again, I will see you next week. Bippity boppity investment property. Let's go.